welcome to, or welcome back to TheSimplyCa. My name is Alana, and today we are going to be doing a very soft and gentle hip, pelvis, and a little neck and shoulder yoga flow. You will want to have some sort of prop situation nearby to allow your body to ease into more of a parasympathetic response and really mellow and chill out in this particular yoga flow. Unfortunately, I did have some audio issues again, so please ignore the fact that my lips are going to be moving and not matching what is going to be said over top. If you enjoy this content, please do give it a thumbs up so that I know to make more of these types of videos. Let me know down in the comment section below what you're enjoying, which videos you want more of, and if there's any particular areas or yoga themes you want to have videos on. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another video. Let's get straight into the practice. We are going to start off today in Baddha Konasana. So gently place the soles of your feet together to touch. Knees are in a very soft diamond shape. And then go ahead and scoop your sitting bones underneath you so that your pelvis isn't tucking backwards and you're sitting on the fleshy part of your bum. You really want to rotate forwards on your pelvis here. So if you have a block or something nearby that you can use to sit up, please go ahead and do that. However, if you don't, rolling your mat up a couple of times and perching your pelvis on that will give you that same pelvic rotation and free up your spine. And then from here, just gently place your hands wherever it feels comfortable. Close your eyes and tune into your breath. You might notice a little bit of a flow up and down, or potentially some shifts and wiggles that need to happen. Finding a little bit more length along your spine. Lifting up through the back of your head here. Really soften into your breath. Maybe setting an intention for your practice today. Just allowing yourself to settle. From here, you're gently going to tip your right ear down to your right shoulder. You can keep both of your hands on your knees or your shins, or you might lower your left hand down to the mat and then walk your fingertips out away from your pelvis, away from your body. And that'll help to intensify this neck stretch a little bit. Try to soften your right ear down to your right shoulder, and then try to drop your right shoulder even more. Gently bring your hand back to your thigh and then lift your head up to center. Just pause for a brief moment, and then when you're ready, lower your left ear down to your left shoulder. Really let your left shoulder be heavy here, and if you want, you can lower your right fingertips down to the mat and then walk your fingertips away from your body any amount where you feel the stretch that your body needs. Really try to soften your left shoulder away from your ear. Your eyes aren't closed, just have a very soft gaze down at your shin. Gently bring your right hand back to your knee and lift your head back up through center. Slide your hands down onto your shins, and we're going to take some cat-cows here. So as you breathe in, you're going to pull your sternum, your chest forwards. And as you breathe out, curl and round back so your pelvis can tip underneath you here. Inhale, pull yourself forwards. And exhale, round backwards. Continue on with your own breath. Eyes can be closed or gaze can be soft. Allowing your body to find those spaces that it needs to settle into. And then softly come back through center, and we're going to take this into a circle. So as you breathe in, you're going to pull your chest forwards. And then as you begin to breathe out, you're going to slide your rib cage towards the right, exhale to the back, and as you breathe in, pull yourself over towards the left and up through center. Exhale to the right, to the back, inhale to the left and up through center. Again, continue on your own breath. These can be as big or as little, as fast or as slow as you need. And now that you've come around to the front, you're going to switch directions. Exhaling as you scoop backwards. So inhale to the front, and as you exhale to the left and to the back, inhale to the right and to the front. Continue on with your own breath, your own pace. Wherever there are moments that you want to be, go ahead and hang out. And then last round here. Come back through center and just sort of pause in neutral. Give yourself a moment. We're going to take this into a twist now. So take your right hand onto your left shin. Left hand tense back behind you to help pitch your torso a little bit more forwards. Take an inhale to lift up, and exhale, you'll roll, you'll twist towards the left. Really nice and tall and strong through your spine, grounded through your pelvis. And allow your torso to rotate any amount to the left. And then gently inhale, come back through center. Just pause for a moment. And we'll move on to the other side. So left hand comes onto your right shin, right hand tense back behind you. Inhale, lift up nice and tall, and exhale, rotate your torso towards the right. Try to be sitting a little bit more forwards on your pelvis here, so you're using your tented fingers, hips behind you to propel your torso forwards. Softly unravel each hand, each shin. Just give yourself a moment to release, and then hands come to your outer knees. Pull your knees up towards each other. Set your feet about mat's width apart and give your knees a little wash from side to side. From here, cross your ankles, pop yourself into hands and knees, tabletop. And you're going to extend your right leg back behind you. Push out through the ball of your foot and really lengthen and enliven that leg and that foot. So you're just opening up your right hip flexor a little bit here. Now from here, you're going to take your right foot and you're going to step it out to the right in line with your hips and walk your hands forwards. Now, you can stay upright or you could lower your forehead onto a block or a prop or onto the mat if that is accessible for you. Really try to pull your hip creases towards the back of your mat, and you're going to feel a nice opening through your spine as well as through that right groin. Try to give yourself space here to soften. So if you need props, if you find yourself gripping or hanging on, ease yourself out of this shape any amount. We'll move our way out here, so crawl your hands back underneath your shoulders. Come back into tabletop, give your hips a little wobble. And we'll extend that left leg straight back behind you to start. Push out through the ball of your left foot, so that left leg is really charged up and fired, and your left foot is on the mat, opening up that left hip crease. And from here, step that left foot all the way over to the left in line with your hips. And then keep your hips over top of your right knee and walk your hands forward, melting your chest and your forehead down. So if you need something underneath your forehead, or if you need to prop yourself in any way, please do that. You're going to feel that opening through your left groins, and then try to find some space through your spine here. Any amount that you can, soften your breath. With every exhale, soften your body. Ground down through your hands, gently press yourself back up into tabletop. And we'll just take a couple rounds of cat-cow here. So any type of cat-cow variations, you might exaggerate them, you might take circles, whatever it is that you need, just give yourself a few moments to neutralize here. And as you're ready, tuck your toes, walk your hands to be about shoulder width apart, and send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now give yourself some time in this downward facing dog to pedal it out, to find the length and the space through your back body. And if your hamstrings are just not having it, and your hamstrings are limiting the release in your spine, go ahead and bend your knees deeply. So heels can be lifted up off of the mat, knees can be bent, and then that way you take your hamstrings totally out of the picture. If you want, you can press both heels down, really lengthen your spine and charge up your legs. Look forward between your hands and then walk your thumbs together to touch, just to get your hands out of the way. As you breathe in, reach your left leg up and back. Give it a nice long stretch. And as you breathe out, step your left foot outside of your left wrist. Make sure that your left heel is down on the mat, and then lower your right knee down. You might want a little bit of an extra gap between your heel and your knee here. And if you want to put something underneath your hands for support to lift your body up a little bit more, please do that. We're going to stay with the hands on the mat. So as you breathe in, you're going to lift and open your chest for those cat-cows. And as you breathe out, curl and round through your spine. Tuck your pelvis. Inhale, lift and open your chest. Exhale, curl and round. So it's like you're trying to energetically pull your heel and your knee together. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, curl and round. Now inhale, come back to neutral. And as you exhale, you're going to come into Ardha Hanumanasana. So ball of your foot lifts up. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, send your hips back, straighten out your left leg. One more like this. Inhale, lift forward. And exhale, hips back, straighten out your left leg. So we're going to stay here, really enliven your left foot, pulling your hip creases back. And then any amount, lean your chest forwards and down towards the mat. Your hips are over top of your right knee. So if you need to adjust your left foot forwards, right knee back, any amount to get this space, go ahead and do that. Really try to release any gripping that might be coming into play here. Let your exhales soften. Now from here, come back to that lunge. You're going to move your right knee forwards just a little bit and swivel your right foot over to the long left side of your mat. And then from here, crawl your left elbow up onto your left thigh. As much as you can, try to lift out of your left shoulder, and then try to have your left knee, left foot pointing in the same direction. So if you need to move your foot a little bit more to center in order to make that happen, go ahead. And then open your chest towards the right. Your right arm can be reaching up towards the ceiling, or it can be swept across the horizon and over your ear. Now, if you would like a little bit of a neck stretch, you can lower your left ear towards your left shoulder. Now, the thing here is that usually that means the left shoulder wants to slump up and we kind of drop the weight into that left shoulder. So really do your best to continuously lift your torso away from your left thigh, lift away from your left shoulder, even as you drop your ear towards it. Come on out of this shape, frame your front foot, swivel your right foot backwards, step into high plank, and we're going to pause here for a few moments. As much as you can, try to hug your upper arms, lift your abdominal wall away from the mat, and any amount, slide your shoulder blades towards your hips. As you breathe in, slide your weight forwards, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift and open your chest. Exhale, lower. Two more. Inhale, lift up, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower back down. Elbows hug in. Inhale, lift up, open. And exhale to lower. Inhale, press yourself up, hands and knees, or high plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. Find your body, find your breath. Notice what is here for you in this down dog. Inhale, look forward between your hands and step your thumbs together again. As you breathe in, reach your right leg up and back, and as you breathe out, you're going to step your right foot outside of your right wrist. Heel is on the mat. Lower your left knee backwards and down, so you've got a little bit of space here for that lunge. If you need it, put something underneath your hands. You know what's about to happen here. As you breathe in, lift and open your chest. And as you breathe out, curl in and round through your spine. Inhale, open up. And exhale, curl and round. Last one like this. Inhale, lift and open. And then exhale, curl and round in. Inhale, come back through neutral. And as you breathe out, that Ardha Hanuman, pick up your right foot. Inhale, come back into the lunge. And exhale, hips draw back, toes lift, straight leg. Inhale, come forwards. And exhale, hips back. This time you're going to stay here, so adjust as necessary. You might need to separate your heel and your knee a little bit from each other. Really try to pull your hip creases back and lengthen your spine. Any amount, see if your body will release towards the mat. From here, gently unravel yourself. Hop your left knee forward just a little bit and swivel your left foot over towards the right. Your right knee is bent, and then climb your right elbow up onto your right thigh. Try to negotiate your right knee and right foot pointing in approximately the same direction. Open your pelvis and your chest towards the left and reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Try to lift out of your right shoulder, and then if you want, you can sweep your left arm across the horizon and over your ear. Even as you lift out of that right shoulder, right arm, you might decide that you want to release your right ear towards your right shoulder to get that tiny neck stretch here. We're going to come out of this shape, lift your torso back up, frame your front foot, move your left foot to the back of your mat, step back, high plank, and pause, because why not? Really strong through your back body. Try to soften your neck and slide your shoulders towards your hips. Open up your collarbones any amount. As you breathe out, shift your weight forwards and down. Inhale, lift and open your chest, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower, and now tent your fingertips off of your mat, elbows point up towards the ceiling. I personally like to touch my feet a little bit wider for this. Inhale, lift and open your chest a little higher. Exhale, lower your right shoulder. Inhale up through center. Exhale, lower your left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale, lower your right, look to the left. Inhale up through center. Exhale, lower your left, look to the right. Inhale, come back up through center. And exhale, lower, forwards and down. Plant your hands. Inhale, press up, hands and knees. And then walk your knees up to your wrists. And guess what? Saddle pose. I have never loved this pose so much in my life. So draw your big toes together to touch. Knees open up nice and wide. Hands can come back behind you. Now, if this is too much, you can always place something underneath your hands. Move your pelvis forwards underneath you. So I do a little butt jiggle to get the pelvis really under and forwards. If this isn't working out for you, you can always come up to sit on your bum, but really want to get into those quadriceps here. So it might be a little bit on the ankles, might be a little bit on the knees. Do what you need to do in order to make this workable in your body. You can be up on your hands, you can be down on your forearms, or if you would like, you can be down on your back. Now, especially if you come all the way down onto your back, really try to lengthen your spine by tucking your low ribs towards the mat. Wherever you are, try to soften and release. Allow gravity to aid you in this. You might feel this stretch in your quadriceps, in your hip flexors, in your psoas. And just be somewhere that you can soften and settle. If you are all the way down on your back, I'm going to press up onto your forearms. If you are on your forearms, you're going to press up onto your hands. And from your hands, come forward, hands and knees, tabletop, extending your legs back or moving into downward facing dog. If you would like to take a Vinyasa flow here, you are more than welcome to inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, lower yourself through your chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend of choice. We're going to meet back in downward facing dog. As you are ready, look forward between your hands and somehow make your way onto your bum and lie down on your back. We're going to come back into that Baddha Konasana shape. You can either keep your feet on the floor, knees wide, lying down this time, or you might come into sort of a happy baby variation where you take that Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together to touch, and then hands on your shins. So hands not on your feet, but on your shins. And then you can use the traction of your arms to play around in this shape. What's really cool about doing this shape lying down flat on your back is that your pelvis is not stuck to the mat. So your pelvis is mobile, which means that any limitation in your pelvis is not as apparent here. It's free to move. So play around with it. Notice what works in your body. You might create a little bit of traction in your spine by holding on to your shins and pressing your knees further away from you. Really, whatever your body needs here. We're going to settle in for Shavasana. So if you want to maintain the Baddha Konasana shape, just lower your feet back onto the mat, or you can extend yourself long into a more traditional Shavasana. I am going to encourage you to stay in Shavasana as long as you can. Ease yourself into the mat, release your breath. Take a moment here to think of something that you are grateful for today. Take a moment to thank your body for everything that it does and for everything it allows you to do. I thank you so much for sharing this time, sharing this space, and sharing this practice. Enjoy your Shavasana. Namaste.